So a lot of people are asking us, how did you meet? And I can tell you that it was not a usual story. It was not a normal story. What was your first memory from when, before or when we met?
So, like you said, it's unusual story. We met online, and I'm not usually a social media. What do you call enthusiasm? Like, so one of my friends just called me and say, "Hey, you know what? There's a spiritual group for book authors." And at the time, I already published my book, and then I joined this group. And then the first thing I saw your post and asking for an opinion to choose the best cover page. And for some reason, when I saw the picture, you and your son, I was like, I compelled to make a comment. So I did. And sure enough, it's just out of my expectation, you responded. And from there, you can
The
continue to
rest
share.
is history. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I posted in that group that I also joined. I guess before you joined, Facebook group. I put out some kind of a sample of a couple of ideas for my cover page for my book, and with my son. And your comment, there was something very warm, very sweet about it. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to talk to this girl. And sure enough, I asked you to, first of all, allow me to friend you on Facebook because you were blocked. And from there, I got you somehow on the phone. And I remember you thought it was weird in hindsight that I said, "Hey, I only have 20 minutes," when we got on the phone. And that is actually something I practiced from Kabbalah, which was to restrict the light, to leave kind of like a taste for more versus overwhelm the other person with like a 2 hour first phone call. Yeah, and the rest was history. What else comes to your mind after we got on the phone?
Well, I think after our first call, and then we texted each other for a few times, and then during a time I was actually my full-time job is taking care of my late father, and then I think a few weeks later after a phone call he passed away. So I needed some time to just think about our relationship. I wasn't sure whether this is really a long-term relationship or just like a short-term relationship, but what really compelled for me to reach out to you, it was a message that you sent to me, and it was like a friend that it felt like I knew you for a long time. So I would like this to be continued. So I think after that it was like we spent time hours and hours, like almost like 4 hours every day. Yeah, and then we talk about spirituality and all different kind of topic that I'm interested in, and you as well, right? I think after 4 months, am I right, in online, and then I just make a decision. I think it felt right to say yes to
Yeah, and what blew both our minds is that we had previous relationships in the past. I've been married several times before I met Rachel. Obviously, it didn't work out with the previous relationships, and both of us felt heard and seen with the other person. There was no physical contact. Rachel was 7,000 miles away. She went from the U.S. back home to Malaysia to nurse her ailing father for 2 years. That gave me a clue into the kind of person you are, the kind of daughter, the kind of family person she is. Leaving your life in the U.S., going to take care of daddy, until 2 years later, right around the time we met, he passed away. It just felt there was something very dedicated in you, something I thought was rare. And like you said, 4 hours every day, 4 or 5 hours every day over video chat. Really just getting to know each other, talking about the stuff we care about, spirituality, relationships, love. You taught me the phrase sacred love. maybe as we wrap up, maybe you can mention what was sacred love for you back then.
I think sacred love is about knowing each other at the soul level. So we're not talking about going into physical yet, but it's a soul level of understanding what exactly inside us what we desire. Like, is it love? Is it peace? Is it just the really pure joy like kids? And I think through our experience that within that 4 months really give us that space to explore and without even talking about physical intimacy. But it's more like I think we call it a spiritual intimacy. And
Yes, I love that spiritual intimacy. Yeah, and just for clarity, it was it was about 4 months. Like we said, hours over video chat every day, talking about things we care about. Obviously, no physical contact. And then 3.5 months later, you landed in San Diego. Uh, that day, we moved in together. That's where the abnormal story comes in.
yes.
But we just trusted. We got some furniture online, found our own place to move into, and that was years ago. And the rest is history. The alignment was there, even though we never met in person before. So miracles do happen.
Yes.